Welcome to ATP Customs. Well, today we have to do a little upgrading on the Dodge. I'm supposed to be working on the Jimmy, but got a last minute phone call, got to go on a road trip. So we got to swap the tires over on my Dodge. We're gonna put the 35s on it, get my winters off. Got a few little things to do. Got a little coolant leak. I removed my bazooka tube, so I might stick a different subwoofer in it and we'll try a couple out. But we're putting 35s on the Dodge today. Now, that is not something that tire shops say to do because you got to use 2-inch wheel spacers. And I'm not recommending that everybody use wheel spacers. I'm just saying what I have done in the past. I've been running 35s and wheel spacers on my Dodge for, I'm going to say 6 or 7 years now. And the trick is make sure you Loctite them. That is the most important thing. And I've never had an issue. The tire shop that I use, the only tire shop in town that will actually put 35s on a dually and wheel spacers, is Another Level Off-Road. And he has done hundreds upon hundreds of dualies with spacers with zero issues. Again, I'm not saying anybody should do it. I'm just saying what I've done and haven't had any issues. So let's put 35s on the Dodge today. Well, my Dodge has 35s on it. This is several days later now. I've already gone on my road trip. I had a whole video planned out around putting 35s on my Dodge and what my opinion was of them. Then I ran into some problems. So I put the Aturo Trailblade 35 by 1250 by 17s on my factory rims. Like I said, I don't recommend doing this because the wheels are only 6 inches wide and my tires are 1250. I have been doing it for years. But it turns out I finally ran into a problem. I was starting this video saying, nope, never had a problem, not in years. Well, I had a problem. I was headed down the Coquihalla to Vancouver, doing 120 kilometers an hour, and blew my front tire like I've never blown before. I've never blown a steering tire like that. I'll just pop a picture up of what my tire looks like. I have never seen a tire split from the bead outwards like that. I was in the fast lane doing 120, and all of a sudden I was in the slow lane, and then I was in the bicycle lane and could barely get stopped, and I had a trailer on. So I was stranded on the side of the road with no 35-inch spare with me. So I had to call Cal Tire out of Hope and have them come and do a service call, and of course they did not have any 35-inch tires. And they have a pipeline running right through Hope and Chilliwack. There is pipeliners everywhere running 35-inch tires, and you cannot find a 35-inch tire anywhere in Hope or Chilliwack except for Fountain Tire. They were the only company that had them, and Fountain Tire only had Goodyear Wrangler Duratrax. So I had to buy one. It cost me $733 to get that one tire on my truck on the side of the road. And problem is, that is not the tire I wanted to buy. I couldn't get any other tires at the time in that area. So now I have a ridiculously expensive tire on the front of my truck that I don't want. And I was going to run the Aturo Trailblades all summer, but now I only have 5 on my truck. So I have a little dilemma. I was going to stretch it out, run those 35s all summer until I could afford to buy a BDS 8-inch lift and upgrade to 37s or 38s. This has thrown a little crux in my plan. This has thrown me for a loop. Not sure what to do here. Kind of burnt up some of my budget for plans I had. What would you viewers do? I'm struggling with these Goodyear Duratrax. I don't like the look of them. I know they're a good tire. They ride rough. They ride really rough. I'm on the fence. And the plan was, now that I had all these little issues fixed, next was going to be paint. We were going to paint all of the bottom color with that new paint. I believe it's called Challenger paint from Rondex. Because when you run 35s, you really chews up your paint really good. Let me rephrase that. When you run 35s with no mud flaps and no running boards. So paint will be next. I'm not sure what to do about tires. This is driving me crazy. And one of the reasons I actually prefer to run 35s in spring and summer is because I really enjoy how it changes the gearing of my truck. I went to California with 35s on and doing, I'm going to say 80 miles an hour, 85 miles an hour most of the way. I still got 900 kilometers to a tank. It does really nice on the highway. When I run a 265 7017, I get about 1100 kilometers to a tank. But spring and summer is when I do a lot of pulling vehicles out of the bushes, out of the mud. We get floods around here. We got rescues to do. So that is why I prefer to run 35s on this. I was actually going to be already into what subs are we running in my truck, but now I had to waste $733 on a tire. So I'll let it be. I guess I'm going to drive it around with that tire until I decide what I want to do. I've actually been studying it all weekend, looking up parts, looking up tire prices, making me crazy. So that's it for 35-inch tires on my Dodge today. We're going to move on. What is on for the rest of the week? Well, we have the F-150 supercharged Roush 650 horse sleeper to pick up tomorrow. So that will be a detailed job that we get to feature. And look who's on the ground. It is a disaster in here, but it is completely on the ground. Have to pick up a couple of little pieces tomorrow, and that thing is firing up with nitrous. We have done so much work to this thing, it is crazy. Spent almost 3 weeks on this thing. Did not think I was going to spend that much time on it, but we are there. Tomorrow, that thing is pulling out of the shop finally. And we'll go over it after I clean it up, because it's a disaster in here right now. And yes, the POS Lincoln is still here. We're waiting for the tow truck to pick it up. And we got subs to try out in my Dodge. So we got a lot of stuff to do. We've had a ton of vehicles booked in. We have more projects coming in. So I'll fill you in on a weekly report before the weekend. Thank you for watching, and I hope you subscribe.